Alright, what is going on, guys? Got another breakdown for UFC London. This one is at featherweight. On the prelims, we got Nathaniel Wood taking on Charles Rosa. Even on reach, Rosa's going to be 3 inches taller. So I'll start with him. Finally snapped a lengthy win one, lose one streak with his last fight. Lost to TJ Brown. Before that, it was win one, lose one for a long time, going back multiple years. Been around for a long time. This will be his 13th UFC fight. He's fought some killers. He lost to Yair Rodriguez early on, Shane Burgos. But yeah, it's pretty much just been win one, lose one. His wins aren't over the best of competition. Manny Bermudez submission. That's his last submission, which is interesting. Just given his fight style. But yeah, win over Manny Bermudez, win over Kevin Aguilar, who was disappointing, no longer with the promotion. Justin James bet on himself and then lost to Charles Rosa, and then he gets cut from the UFC and loses his next fight. So tough scene there, but yeah, win one, lose one has been the story of Charles Rosa's career. He has kind of fought like a murderer's row of grapplers here. I mean, not really, but I mean, all these guys are pretty good. I mean, obviously, Bryce Mitchell is the best one. Just nobody can grapple with Bryce Mitchell in the division. Derek Minner, very good jiu-jitsu. If you play around on the ground with him, you'll probably lose. Damon Jackson, very good wrestler. And TJ Brown, also a very good wrestler. He finally started to use it. And what's interesting about Charles Rosa's game is he's primarily a BJJ guy. He gets way too comfortable on his back, though. It's cost him a lot of fights. He has this front choke that he loves to go for, and if he doesn't get it, he ends up on the bottom, and it's just not good. But other than that, like he does have good jujitsu, like I said, but he tends to get out grappled a lot. Striking wise, he looked pretty good in his last fight, but it's always just been kind of basic. I'm not trying to say that in an insulting way. It's just he we're gonna get like leg kicks, and boxing combinations pretty much from Charles Rosa. There's nothing crazy that he does. Doesn't have a whole lot of power. His boxing's okay. His defense is not that great. He gets hit a fair amount, though he does have a chin. Again, the leg kicks were looking good. Nathaniel Wood can certainly check leg kicks, though. So yeah, Charles Rosa, just the definition of average in this division. He's an 80 overall in Madden. And with Nathaniel Wood moving up to featherweight after some bad luck at bantamweight, he is, I believe, 4-2 in the UFC. But before coming over, he was a Cage Warriors champion. Had some wild fights there. Did take a fair amount of damage, but shows he's got heart. He's got a chin, and very well rounded skill set for sure. He wins his first three UFC fights by submission. Didn't beat any killers there, but all of these guys were all right. They hung around for a while. I don't know if any of them are still in the promotion. If they are, I think Johnny Eduardo is still here, but Andre Ewell got cut. But I mean, Andre Ewell was all right. Win one, lose one, kind of just like Charles Rosa. Teco Quinones had some success in the UFC for a second. He's no longer with the promotion either. But yeah, three straight submission wins, and then he gets taken out by John Dodson, who was still very game when he got let go. He was just one of those guys where the UFC let him go because he was just kind of a veteran with no path to the title, and they didn't want to pay him what he would want to be paid or what he's earning at this point in his career. So they cut him loose. Not a bad loss though. John Dodson's so good at getting inside and just these lightning fast combinations. That's his whole game. He had some success with that against Nathaniel Wood in all three rounds, but then he finally manages to put him away with a left hook in the third. Cashes is like a 2-1 underdog, I believe. This was one of the first cards I ever capped, so I remember everything about it. But yeah, bounces back with a solid win over John Castaneda on short notice. Castaneda's coming in on short notice, so it is what it is. He did what he had to do there. He looked very good. And then against Casey Kenny, he loses a close barn burner. Casey Kenny, very similar to Nathaniel Wood in that they're both beasts, but it's just hard to break into that killer division of bantamweight. It's hard to be ranked there. So many good fighters. Both of them are right on that peripheral. Very good. I think they'd be ranked in just about every other division, but in bantamweight, feels like 15 through 20 would all be ranked guys in other divisions. So we haven't seen him in a while. He's had some fights fall through, but I think that this is a good opponent for Nathaniel Wood. He's a very good striker, likes to keep it on the feet primarily. He's in your face the whole time, always busy, very accurate right hand that Rosa is definitely susceptible to. Very good check left hook. Again, the pressure just doesn't stop. The volume doesn't stop. Good front kicks that he throws up the middle a lot. very good leg kicks, and he does check leg kicks well himself. Um, I think that if he keeps it at range here, he's just gonna have an easy time against Charles Rosa. It's not like he has a reach advantage or anything, but I just think that he's a better striker. He has a chin. He's gonna stay in his face, and we'll see if Nathaniel Wood can add some power at featherweight. I think if Nathaniel Wood had some power, he'd be. I mean, he's already very good, but he would be a legit threat to shoot up the division in featherweight if he can kind of come into that frame a little bit more. And so, if we look at the price here, it's already pretty juiced. Nathaniel Wood minus 530 around there on FanDuel and on DK. And I've said it before, man. My policy with money lines is I typically kind of check out in the low threes, like minus 330 is where I kind of like to cap it. Unless I'm very very comfortable, I'll go up to minus 500. And last week Nathaniel Wood was at minus 450. I managed to get in a bet before it went over the minus 500 threshold. So yeah, I think the money line is chalked. That's just me. I think that only people who work for sports books will tell you to bet things over minus 500. Or if you just have money to burn, then you can do it. For most people, those types of money lines can only lead to disaster, even though it's very rare that you see them lose. But I thought I was going to be smart, man. I thought I was going to snipe out Nathaniel Wood by points. I thought everybody would be going finish. I thought the bookies would be on that. But I guess people have kind of figured it out that Nathaniel Wood has a good style that's conducive for a decision. Charles Rosa also has a good chin. So I do think that Nathaniel Wood's going to win by points, but at minus 130, I'm not betting that. It's just not enough for me. And, it's been a long time since we've seen Nathaniel Wood. He's a very good fighter. It's totally not out of the question that he could get the finish. I couldn't pick one, though. Maybe inside the distance at plus odds is maybe worth taking a stab, but I honestly think Charles Rosa is going to be able to survive. And at range, I think Nathaniel Wood is going to win. And on the ground, it's always sketchy. Charles Rosa's got to get a submission at some point, man. He's always hunting for it. But Nathaniel Wood, pretty high level BJJ himself. Charles Rosa, very good at not getting submitted. And I think that if it does go to the ground, we could just see the classic Charles Rosa just could get up, but he doesn't want to. He just fishes for the submission and loses the decision either way. So if I had to pick, I would say Nathaniel Wood by points, but at least here on FanDuel at minus 130, not really crazy about betting it, but we'll see if that changes later in the week. So thanks for watching, guys. Sure to subscribe and take it easy.